What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. We are on Coruscant, and this is LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. In LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, there are 45 Jedi, and in this video, we are going to show you all 45 of the Jedi. Now, I should be using quotation fingers because a lot of the characters, like Anakin Skywalker, as you can see, have multiple costumes, and it kind of pads the numbers a little bit, but it is what it is. So first up, what we see on the screen from the Jedi is Anakin Skywalker. So this is basically 2 of the 45, and the only difference is one has a cape and one doesn't. So you can kind of see the hood back there, and then, well, he's not going to cooperate, but you can see he's got the cape there. He has a cool idle animation that I don't think that is going to happen in the video because you can't tell how long it's going to take for it to happen. But essentially, his lightsaber comes out red, and he starts tapping on it, and it turns blue. So on top of having these 2 versions of Anakin as a Jedi, we also have 2 versions of Anakin as a Jedi from Episode 3. And in this one, you can see he's got the black hand because it was cut off, and he's got the more traditional hair that we're kind of used to, especially from the Clone Wars. This is obviously a fantastic figure. They have the blue lightsabers for both of them, and I think this is obviously one of the coolest versions of Anakin right here. But again, 4 Anakin figures, and basically it's just 2 of them. He does have that kind of cool power where he pulls out the lightsaber and twirls the sword. He's got that nice little smirk, so that's kind of fun. Whoa, that was cool. So moving on, we've got Anakin. Obviously, we all know who Anakin Skywalker is. He's pretty much, his name's on the game. So, on top of Anakin, we also start getting into some of the Jedi, like Aayla Secura. And Aayla Secura, oh, there's the animation right there. Aayla Secura is one of the most awesome Jedi out there. She is Twi'lek, obviously, and she's got her own lightsaber that is blue as well. Jedi Master, died during Order 66. Very, very popular, and we've seen her in a lot of different forms. Well known for her rivalry with Asajj Ventress. So that's kind of cool that we've got her in the game. Obviously, she has been in probably most of the LEGO Star Wars games, except maybe the first, the complete saga. But I digress. And also another Jedi that we have, Barriss Offee.
Jedi use the Force only for defense, and for things we can't quite reach without getting up.
So some of the characters like that have little introductory lines that they say when they pop in. And, some of them have little idle animations. And again, in the interest of time, I'm not going to be able to show necessarily every single one. She's got her blue lightsaber. Obviously, Barriss Offee is a little bit problematic for the Jedi. She does leave the Jedi Order. There's different versions of her story, though. There was an original animated series from the cartoon that didn't involve Ahsoka, but in the Clone Wars, she kind of interferes with Ahsoka's whole trajectory, if you will, and doesn't really go to the dark side, but definitely falls out from the Jedi Order. So in any event, we do remember her as the Padawan learner of Luminara Unduli, and she's pretty cool. On top of that, we have Ben Solo.
It's Ben now, by the way.
It is Ben now, by the way. And he is obviously the redeemed Ben Solo, no longer Kylo Ren. This is his appearance at the end of Episode 9. And he's got some twitches there, apparently. He's got a blue lightsaber as redeemed. I believe that might be the one that was basically raised, that she kind of like force phases to him as they learn about their power. I know some people don't love that. He's got some pretty cool lines. Like if Vader drops in, he'll fanboy a little bit, which is kind of cool. But I don't know what other idle anime. I don't use that version of Anakin. I'm sorry, Ben, very often. We also have.
Archives should take care of themselves.
We also have Jocasta Nu. Okay, This is literally the librarian of the Jedi Temple, okay? She is very well known from her appearances, like in episode 2, where she tells Obi-Wan, you know, that the planet doesn't exist if it's not there, all sorts of stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. This is very much a TT Games kind of thing to do. Go with like a deep cut type character. We've never seen Jocasta Nu in any of the Lego games, so to see her not only in here but as a Jedi is kind of cool in a lot of ways. I mean, it's not a character I'm personally going to use a lot, but it's still pretty cool. So on top of Jocasta Nu, we also have Mundi.
You were wise to bring me here.
And he's got his little intro line. And we also have his good friend. We have Kit Fisto.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Jedi Master Kit Fisto.
All right, so both of these are members of the Jedi Council, and both of them, unfortunately, no, actually, Mundi did not go to the. It was Aegon Kolar, I believe, that actually went with Kit Fisto and Mace Windu to the Jedi Temple, or I'm sorry, to Palpatine when he essentially revealed himself as Sidious. Obviously, Mundi is a very long time member of the Council. I actually don't know that I've ever seen the little ponytail like that. That's interesting. So these are two characters that we've seen plenty of times in LEGO games. Kit Fisto is one of my favorite. He's got his green lightsaber and, you know, one that swims. I don't know, man. Obviously, it's because he looks the coolest. Got those, like, kind of tendrils that look almost like they're dreads. But Kit Fisto has always been one of my favorite Jedi. And it's kind of cool to see him this way in this game. And it's kind of funny how every time he loads in, he says, "Allow me to introduce myself. I am Jedi Master Kit Fisto." Anyway, and last on this panel, we have Leia.
Follow my lead.
And, you know, this is Princess Leia under here as a Jedi. Listen, I wish there was a way to take that visor off. I wish there was a way to just have her face there. I know this is a training costume, but it feels a little cheap to say, oh, it's Leia under there, and not even be able to see her face. It just would have been a lot much cooler to have Leia's face shown. But it is what it is, you know? So that is our first look in a video game at Princess Leia as a Jedi. So next up we have Luke Skywalker. This is classic Luke Skywalker, and this is actually part of the classic character pack, and it has his appearance in the very first Lego set from 1999, and obviously it's kind of like how we looked in the original games. He's drinking his blue milk. There are so many different versions of Luke Skywalker, including our kind of old man version right here, the old Flashback. He's got his little gray hand. Green lightsaber. Oh, look at that. Pretty cool. So that was a pretty cool animation for putting it away. Obviously, lefty stance. And, you know, speaking of, you know, old man Luke, there is also...
Yes, I'm really here this time. Now let me carry on with my business.
There's also this old man version right here, where he's kind of got like a black suit. He does have another line when he comes in where he says, "I kind of wanted to be left alone." So there's some different voice lines that they have. Some of the characters have multiple. Obviously, this is Luke Skywalker we're talking about, you know what I mean? So very interesting lefty stance. Not a lot of the characters, you know, kind of have this form. So then we start to get into the many versions.
I'm Luke Skywalker, and I'm a Jedi, like my father before me.
There you go. A lot of different forms of Luke Skywalker.
The power of the Force will guide me to victory.
So, you know, this one obviously is from Return of the Jedi, Episode 6, kind of a showdown with Palpatine, or Sidious, and Vader. This one's very interesting. I like this one a lot. It's got Yoda on his back, obviously from Dagobah. It's got a green lightsaber. And he's got Yoda with him. And Yoda makes all sorts of funny faces as you kind of do his thing. So this one must have been very interesting to design for. definitely a very unique version of Luke Skywalker that I think a lot of people are really going to like. Then obviously we
I won't
have
fail you. I'm not afraid.
his Endor look and green lightsaber. And he doesn't have a gun, obviously. I don't know why I thought he would. Probably because he's on Endor. One of the cool things that Jedi and Sith can do is they can actually throw their lightsaber, have some ranged attacks. I love doing that. That's actually a lot of fun to do. On top of that, we have
I'm Luke Skywalker, and I'm a Jedi, like my father before me.
we have Empire Strikes Back version of Luke Skywalker in his brown duds. And he has both hands at this point in his lifetime, as he does with Yoda over there. Then we have training
The power
Luke.
of the Force will guide me to victory.
So this is a lot like that Leia training one, where you don't actually see his face. But I'm fine with it for Luke, simply because we have plenty of versions of Luke as a Jedi with his face showing. I understand the point of the skin or the suit being this way, but I don't know, man. Like, there's not many Jedi Leia situations, so it would have been cool.
I won't
So this is
fail you.
obviously from Jabba's
I'm
palace.
not afraid.
And I like this one a lot. You actually even theoretically say, oh, this is from The Mandalorian. Because, you know, he's got the hood up. You can't really tell it's him. And I don't know, man. There's just an iconic, classic intro to Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi. Love the drinks the blue milk with the animation. Both of them. We also have one of our last Luke Skywalkers. His look from Hoth. Still has a blue lightsaber at this point. So look, there's so many different variations of Luke Skywalker. Then we have this one
I'm
here,
Luke
episode
Skywalker, and
5,
I'm a
no
Jedi,
jacket.
like my father before me.
So it's basically this one right here, just without Yoda on his back. You know what I mean? So like when you actually go into the Jedi, like look at all these Luke Skywalkers. There's so many of just Luke Skywalker alone. And I mean, I get it. It's literally the Skywalker Saga. But when you're trying to get like lots of cool characters in there, you know, like there's a lot of Jedi that didn't make the cut. And they've been in other games. You know, Aegon Kolar, you know, Quinlan Voss, characters like that didn't quite make it into this game. And I mean, I know that they really are focusing on like core movie characters. And I don't even know if you see Quinlan Voss in the actual movie. But, you know, it's just... would have been nice to maybe have some of them and not necessarily 47 Lukes, but again, they are going through the movies, so it does make sense why there was a necessity to have each variation of these characters. Speaking of Luminara Unduli, we have her right here. Of course, she was the master of Barriss Offee, and a little idle animation there. She has her green lightsaber also in a lefty stance. Very interesting. She's pretty cool. She's got very flexible. Gets pretty up there. You know, jumps really high. So this is obviously another, you know, Jedi Master. Speaking of Jedi Masters, there's a BAMF, Mr. Samuel L. Jackson himself with the purple lightsaber. Not many Jedi carried a purple lightsaber, and famously he got it because he didn't understand Star Wars and he just wanted a purple lightsaber. Like, can I have purple? And they said, yeah, sure. So obviously Mace Windu, one of the most powerful Jedi that we've ever seen, almost took out Sidious, and obviously decapitated Jango Fett. His Kappa was detated. Now, like a lot of the other ones, there are two versions of Mace Windu. One with the cape, one without. So, you know, it is what it is. Then we start getting into the Obi-Wan.
Hello there. Don't be afraid.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there. So obviously this is classic Obi-Wan Kenobi. obviously based on the 99 set. And this was a digital pre-order bonus. I don't know if or when this will be available to everyone. I'm sure that you'll be able to buy it a la carte at some point. I just don't know when. For now, like, the only way you could get it is if you pre-ordered the game digitally. So then we have got Episode 3 Obi-Wan, obviously in his prime. And then you have the same Obi-Wan, just with a cape. So I get it. That's what they did, but it still doesn't make it like a little less visible, if you will. You've got Episode 1.
Jedi Master, are we?
So that's Obi-Wan from Episode 1, and same Obi-Wan, no cape. So if you were sensing a theme, there was a theme.
So uncivilized.
So uncivilized. We also have... Do we get to these Obi-Wans? Got Obi-Wan from Episode 2.
Isn't this quite the treat?
And then also Obi-Wan with longer robes. This is probably my favorite Obi-Wan right here, with the longer hair, the longer robe. Kind of has a little bit of a dude vibe. You know what I mean? The dude. Carrying on with Obi-Wan, we've got Old Man Obi-Wan right here with his hood up, which is pretty cool. And then we also have him with his hood down. And he does usually have like an introductory line, but for whatever reason, because when I was loading him up, he did both of his lines. It doesn't want to do it right now. So it is what it is. But Obi-Wan Kenobi, obviously, you have a lot of different versions of him, and it makes sense. You have Episode 1, 2, 3, and then 6. He looks different in every single one, so it is pretty much perfect. On top of Obi-Wan, we have versions of Qui Gon Jinn.
Call for aid shows courage, not weakness.
So Qui-Gon does his thing with the green lightsaber. He also has the poncho version. And just a version with no cape. You know, and again, they show these 3 different variations throughout the game. So I'll tell you what, man, you say something to him. Have you seen Taken? Qui-Gon knows what's up. All right, then we start getting into some of the other amazing Jedi. Shaak Ti, another one of my absolute favorites. Obviously, a lot of people like, Ahsoka. They are both Togruta, so the same kind of race. And she's just fantastic. She's got a blue lightsaber. You probably saw me use her quite a bit throughout the game. Like I said, one of my favorite all-time Jedi. There is a deleted scene on Episode 3 where I think Grievous actually was gonna kill her, like, and it's kind of interesting to watch, like that was cut. I'm glad it was. I mean, she ends up dying in Order 66 anyway, but still, it was probably better than the scene that they did. We have Plo Koon, speaking of dying in Order 66, had his ship blown out of the sky. I think it was over Salakamine, something like that, but another one of the, big master Jedi from the Council and everything. So there's Plo Koon, definitely a fan favorite. We also have actually let's go to Yarael.
The unmistakable figure of Yarael Poof emerges from the shadows in the nick of time. Ta-da!
So I love Yarael Poof. I just think he's just absolutely fantastic. When he loads into the game, and he kind of makes that showtastic entrance, very showy and very, very fun. So Yarael Poof. We also have.
We must find a peaceful solution.
for the first time ever, Yaddle. And I want to share a story, okay? The voice actor for Yaddle actually hit me up. Her name is Emma Stannard, okay? She actually hit me up on Twitter, and here's Yoda. So she actually hit me up on Twitter because she didn't know if they actually used her voice in the game. And I guess when she found my unlock video, that was her hearing it for the first time and seeing it for the first time. And that to me is so cool that I could have been a part of that experience. And I don't know that I ever would have pictured Yaddle sounding this way, because, you know, we're used to Yoda, we're used to the way that he sounds, but we've never heard Yaddle before. And honestly, Yoda is the only character from his race that we've ever heard actually talk. So to hear Yaddle and have her sound, you know, more, you know, human than whatever Yoda is, and not necessarily speak in riddles the same way, was very interesting and speaks to Yoda's personality personally. So I appreciate her hitting me up. I actually went and recorded some more video for her, and I just, that's one of the cool experiences when I think of Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. I'm always gonna think of that story, so that's cool to me. And you know, we're seeing Yaddle for the first time. Yaddle was also one of the first characters they ever announced for this game, and that was kind of cool too, because we had not seen her this way before. So we are going to finish things off with our last Jedi, and that is Rey Skywalker. Okay, she's got her yellow lightsaber here. She has taken on the Skywalker name. She is a Palpatine, but she has decided that she does not want to be a Palpatine. She would like to be a Skywalker. That is basically her adopted family. Luke and Leia have been more parents to her than anyone else that she's ever had in her life. And this is a controversial character, okay? I love Rey. I thought she was great. Definitely one of the best parts of the new trilogy. I understand a lot of people maybe disagree, maybe think of her as a little bit of a Mary Sue. I get it. I certainly don't dispute that there's some of that there. I would have loved it if they were a little more consistent in their writing, for sure. But as it stands, I think we all kind of thought she was going to be a Skywalker one way or another. And ultimately, that's what she is. You know what I mean? And we had this big debate on my my Discord about, you know, whether or not she deserves to be a Skywalker. Like, I mean, adoption is a thing, and, you know, she considers herself adopted, you know, by Luke, by Leia. You know, they are Skywalkers, or are they Palpatines? Because, I don't know, there's been a lot of retconning, apparently, about the whole Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious story. You know, who is Anakin's father? He's fatherless. Immaculate Conception story. Sidious, you know, basically created him by influencing the midichlorians. Is Sidious really the father? I mean, I don't know. Where does the name Skywalker even come from? Shmi? So there's a lot of things to consider when we have that discussion. Obviously, you have Rey here with her Kajimi coat from Episode 9, and then you have Rey here from Episode 7
right here.
as a Jedi. I actually like that version. I actually have a hot toy for Rey from all 3 movies, so I am definitely on the Rey fandom, and it doesn't hurt everything. She kind of looks.
I can't do this alone.
So there's another Rey right there. Now these, like Luke and Rey and Anakin and Kylo Ren / Ben Solo, those are a few of the characters that actually have characters across multiple categories. Like, there's a scavenger version of Rey, there's a dark side version of Kylo Ren, there's, you know, extra versions of Luke Skywalker. So, you know, it's interesting how they didn't just bundle them all together completely. But in any event, those are all 45 Jedi, quotation fingers, you know, like all 45 suits, Jedi, different characters that you can experience in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which is in stores now. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you.